What's up, guys? This is going to be a video response to Jordan and Chad, aka the Visual Maniacs, video for their contest video. Or they were doing their top 20 movies of all time, or at least in their collection. And their contest is to do the exact same thing: give at least 10 movies in your collection, anyway, that you consider to be your best. And I did just that, although I did pick through my entire collection, and I picked 20 movies that I consider to be the best of my collection. The best movies, anyway. The best movies that I consider to be, well, anyway. And not including TV shows. And that was actually kind of annoying because I had gone through my TV collection and picked out a couple of things I would have included, but just movies, though. So, it was, like I said, I went through just my entire thing and started picking things off, so actually, by the time I got to 20, I just kind of stopped, so. These are in no particular order. They're just the movies that I grabbed in the order that I grabbed them, and I'll say a couple things about them, but otherwise I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. There's 20 movies here, so I don't want to go over like 10 minutes or anything, so. Anyway, let's start this up. The first movie is actually a 3-pack, but it's just the middle movie. And that is, this is the Hannibal Lecter collection, but the movie I'm talking about is Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal is an okay movie. It's kind of a weird. If you've read the book, you know that the ending is a lot different than the way the movie ended. But I enjoyed the movie for what it was. But Silence of the Lambs is a masterpiece, masterclass from Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins. The story was good. The mystery was good. Buffalo Bill. I mean, honestly, the main villain technically isn't even Hannibal Lecter, but he's a foil in the movie. But anyway, everyone's seen this movie. I don't need to describe this movie, I don't think. But I consider it to be one of the best movies ever made. I enjoy it a lot. I've seen it numerous times. So yeah, that's the first one I picked. It's like I said, this is not in any order. This isn't like number 1 or number 20 or anything. It's just one of the 20. And for anyone else who have seen Manhunter, that is a cheese fest movie right there. That is hilarious, that movie. Look at that. Loosely based off of the novel Red Dragon. Anyway, that's the first movie. Second movie, I consider American Psycho to be one of the best movies that I own in my collection. I don't want to get into all the reasons why. I think it's a well-acted movie. I think that it's a decent horror thriller, much more of a thriller than a horror. But it has horror elements. I think it's a very good social commentary on the greed and excess of the 80s and into the 90s and whatnot. But, yeah. The book is very, very nasty for those who can stomach it, but it's better than the movie. The movie, if you think that was bad, I mean, this was a Disney movie in comparison. It was the frickin' Lion King. Than the book. The book was honestly very upsetting at points, but anyway, I enjoyed that movie. Next, I think this is going to be in everyone's top 10, top 20, top 5. This is probably a top 10 pick, but like I said, these aren't in any order. And that is T2 Judgment Day, the Skynet edition. You know, I could have swore I had a slipcase for this, but I don't, so I must have either thrown it or I never got it. But anyway. Once again, I don't think I need to say anything about this movie. Everybody's seen it. Everybody owns it or owns an iteration of it on DVD or even VHS. Or played the video game. I played the Genesis game too, which was really fun. I guess let's just open it up and look at that. Look at that. T2 Judgment Day. Great movie. I like actually all of the T2 movies, all of the Terminator movies, even Salvation, although I only based that off of only seeing the movie once and seeing it without really listening to any of the hype machine or anything, because I didn't see it in the theaters. I only saw it on Blu-ray when I got it back in December of '09 or something like that. It was one of the first Blu-rays I ever bought, and I thought it was really looked good on my TV, and it was one of the first Blu-rays I ever bought, so I thought it looked really good. So I might be biased because I didn't really pay attention to the movie as much, but I thought it was good, and I don't want to watch it and find out that it's bad. So, anyway. Next, this is actually a really good sci-fi movie. Moon, starring Sam Rockwell and pretty much nobody else. Kevin Spacey voices a. I don't think I don't know if it's an artificial intelligence or if it's just a virtual intelligence, a VI, but he voices like a machine or like a robot arm type thing, and he speaks to Sam Rockwell's character. So I think his name is actually Sam. Yeah, Sam Bell. That's funny. I love that they had this shot of him kissing his, I believe that's his wife, and like it's literally like 2 seconds in the movie. That scene is the entire scene of that image, or whatever. The image is the scene, and there's no sex or anything in this movie. It's anyway. I'm getting off topic, aren't I? This is a very well done movie, very good sci-fi movie, kind of a mystery type movie too. I wouldn't call it a thriller, but anyway, definitely sci-fi, and very well acted by Sam Rockwell. And yeah, I guess I don't have anything else to say. I'd recommend it. I think it's usually around $10 or less now. I swiped the slipcover from my brother because he was going to throw it away. I thought that was a bad idea, so I took it. Next, this is probably my favorite horror movie, or at least one of in the franchise anyway, and that is Halloween, the first one. You'll see another one in here down the line here, but this is probably my favorite horror movie. And to be honest, I'm not even sure like what it is about the movie or the character that really is interesting to me. I think the fact that he was someone who killed his family when he was 6 for no real reason, and 20 years later or 12 years later or something like that, because he's like in his late teens, early 20s when he's wearing the mask and walking around town, and he's like this embodiment of evil. I mean, honestly, I guess he's, Freddy Krueger, not Freddy Krueger, he's basically Jason Voorhees, but with a different mask. I don't know, the fact that he doesn't, like, chase villains, I don't know, he's a slow-moving murderer, killer thing, and I always thought he has the creepiest mask. Between Jason, obviously Jason's mask is a creepy, scary mask, but I think the Shatner mask, if that's correct, I think it's a William Shatner mask, is just fucking creepy. And him wearing the jumpsuit with the combination of the mask, I always thought that was a scary image. And I actually think I like the theme song, or the theme music, the most out of all the scary movies. Although, to be fair, I have only seen Friday the 13th, Part 1 and 3, I think. And then Nightmare on Elm Street, I've only seen the first one. And then I think I saw some of New Nightmare, and I thought it was terrible. But, so yeah, anyway. It's at 8 minutes already, guys, sorry. I've only got like 4 movies done. Maybe I'll stop at 10. How about that? Next movie. Dredd. Fucking awesome. I love this movie. And I hated the Stallone version. I actually don't know a whole lot about the comic book. I know that it exists. I know the principal idea behind it. But I've only like read half an issue of it back in the fucking 90s. It seemed interesting, but yeah, but I thought this was a great movie. I would love to see a sequel. I really, really wish I'd seen this in the theater. I did not know it was in that much trouble of getting a sequel. I thought it was fantastic. Everyone should own that. Next, The Thing. That's pretty obvious, I think, for anybody who knows me, knows my channel, my screen image or whatever my profile photo is of The Thing. That image right there. This movie's great. It's a great mix of sci-fi and horror, and the acting's great, the prosthetics are great, the animations are great, the story's great. I love the scenery, the setting of being so isolated and trapped in Antarctica or wherever the hell they are. Yeah, great movie. Everyone should watch that too. That's pretty cheap. It's like $8 or less online. So, this is the sequel to the one I showed you earlier, Halloween 2. I actually own the initial Halloween 2 release somewhere, but this is obviously the better version. Although, one thing I do not like about this version is there are no subtitles, and I've come to realize that I really do like my subtitles, just because apparently I'm going hard of hearing, and I've just gotten so used to reading them when I watch a movie that I just prefer, unless I'm watching it on TV, obviously. Then obviously there's no subtitles on television, but I'm off topic again. But this is a good movie. I think this is almost as good as the first one. I like the setting of the hospital, but the first one's just a classic. And this is also a classic, but just behind it. Oops. Next, Shawshank. No shit, right? This will probably be in everyone's collection too. This is the digibook, which I'm sure has been shown off a million times, so let's move this along. Shawshank Redemption. I don't think that even needs introduction or an explanation. That's a great movie. Every time it's on TNT or whatever, I just watch it, or I try to watch it. Although I have not watched that Blu-ray yet. I don't think. I might have started it or checked it for picture quality, but I don't think I ever actually watched it. Anyway. Next, this actually might be my only comedy in here. I don't own a lot of comedies. Office Space. Once again, I feel like this is probably pretty obvious for talking about top 10, 20 movies of all time. This movie is fucking hilarious. I've seen this movie probably 100 times. I can quote most of it. And it's really, really funny. Special edition. I don't know if this is the only edition. I mean, for the US release anyway. I don't think there's another edition here, but special edition with flair. Movie's great. Next. Oh. Hugo. I've only seen this movie once, and I did watch it on Netflix before I bought the Blu-ray, which I think I got off eBay or something, for like $10 or something. Anyway. This movie is great. I thought it was just a joy to watch. The adventure. I don't have a lot of adventure-type movies in my collection, and I just thought this was so well done. I love the visual style. I would have loved to have gotten this in 3D, so when I do eventually get a 3D TV, I could watch it in 3D, but the regular version is obviously just fine for me now because I don't have a 3D TV. But I thought it was really good. I thought it was well worth watching, well worth owning. The main actor, whose name I don't recall, was very good in it. I really sympathized with his character, with his problem, with what was going on, trying to figure out that little clue from his father. I don't want to spoil anything if it's people who haven't seen it, but I thought it was well done. I loved Chloe Grace Moretz in it. She was very cute and fun to like converse with this character, and obviously Ben Kingsley was just magnificent in it. It's funny, at the time when I watched it, I did not realize how profound of an impact he had on the movie, like how much he'd be in it. I thought it'd be mainly these two, but he was actually a very central character. And then obviously Sacha Baron Cohen was in it too, and he was actually pretty good. So yeah, next one, Place Beyond the Pines. This was pretty good. I watched this like last week, or what? I guess it was last week when I bought it. Or was that week before? Anyway, I thought it was very well done. I thought it was a very good story. It was kind of long, I thought, a little bit long. I think it was 2.5 hours long. But, and it's funny too, actually. The performances are really what sell it, I think. Bradley Cooper and Eva Mendes and Ryan Gosling, obviously. And then later in the storyline, the third act, those characters were really good. But I think if you take out, like, Ryan Gosling and replace him with some other generic actor, or Bradley Cooper, it might not have been as good of a film. I think it was better because of their performances. But so I guess that's more praise for the actors. But the story was pretty good. It was an interesting story, which I'm not going to go into right now. But let's see. I still got, like, 6 more? Shit. Anyway. Next, The Master. I thought this was actually very well acted. I remember after finishing it, this is the reverse cover art, by the way. After finishing it, I was a little perplexed about it, but on thinking about it, I need to watch it again, honestly. But thinking about it, I really did think the performances definitely made the movie. The 3 main characters, Amy Adams, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and then mainly Joaquin Phoenix, were just a tour de force of acting and just making that very character-driven. Lancaster Dodd, I think? Dodd or something like that? I think that's his name. I recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it. Like I said, it's definitely... it requires paying attention and like probably a second or third viewing, but it's very well acted, and the story is very interesting, and the obvious connotations about Scientology are abound. But I enjoyed the heck out of it. Next, whoa, sliding across here. 7. I have probably seen this movie like 50 or 60 times. I used to watch it when I was in college. I'd have it playing in the background, and honestly, saying that now, that seems kind of fucking weird. But I used to love this movie. I still like this movie. But I played it a lot. The DVD I have when I was in college. Just for whatever the fucking reason. I don't know. It's a great movie. Like, once again, I think it doesn't really need a whole lot of explanation or anything. It's definitely a top 20 movie. Next, Jurassic Park. The first one, anyway. The second one was okay, and the third one, honestly, gets a lot of hate, but it's not terrible. It's just kind of feels unnecessary. And the fourth one that's being made, I guess, I mean, unless they redo things, I feel like might be a bit unnecessary. But this initial movie was fantastic. I've never read the source material, so I don't know how closely it was stuck to it. But I hear that it was a pretty good adaptation, but don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But the movie was great. This Blu-ray picture quality was pretty good. I heard the 3D was only so-so, but I guess it doesn't really matter when I'm talking about this now. Anyway, Jurassic Park was great. Everyone should own that, and once again, doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. Next, only a couple left, guys. Maybe we can get this under 20 fucking minutes. Skyfall. I don't want to like bring on too much hate, but I mean I like the other Daniel Craig ones. I even like some of the other Bond movies. Although to be honest, I don't own any of them. I don't own the Bond box set because I don't really care about James Bond that much. I just like the recent Daniel Craig iteration, and of the 3 that he's been in, this is my favorite. It goes in Skyfall, Casino Royale, and then Quantum of Solace, which Quantum of Solace gets a lot of hate too, but I think that movie's okay. That was just, it's fine. And Casino Royale was a good movie. I think it's kind of boring. I prefer this one. This has got more action in it, and I think I like the story better. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. Wish I'd seen it in the theaters. I had a chance to, but I just didn't, I guess. Alright, second to last. Silver Linings Playbook. Another movie that I think really needs a whole lot of explanation. Both our main actors did fantastic in it. I really think she gets a lot of credit. She won, obviously, for Best Actress. But Bradley Cooper really, I think, should have gotten more recognition. He did a very, very good job in this movie. As did Robert De Niro. Gave great performances. Jackie Weaver was pretty good, too. I feel like she wasn't in it as much as the other 3. But definitely these 2 and then Robert De Niro were great. And a very good study on bipolar disorder and just mental disorder in general. I feel like that's not talked about that much in a positive light. Not that this is a positive light, but in a light that makes it not like so taboo. Anyway, last movie, Zodiac. This movie, a lot of people I know don't really care for it, or they at least think it's really long, and I agree that it's kind of a long movie and can be actually kind of boring, but I just love mystery movies. The fact that the guy was never caught always made me intrigued by the story. Even though, like, if you watch the movie, you'll know there's a person who strongly fits the bill for the Zodiac that never was apprehended. And then, well, I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't known about it, but you can read about it on like Wikipedia or something. But I just love the acting. I love the storyline. There hasn't been a serial killer story like the Zodiac since, really. I mean, at least not to my knowledge, other than, like, Bundy and Ed Gein and them fuckers. But I always thought Zodiac was a good story and a good movie. And it's also David Fincher, so even better. Alright, that's it, guys. Sorry that took so long. It was about twice as long as I thought it was going to be, so I want to end this now. That is my contest entry for the Visual Maniacs. It's not a sub-contest or anything. It's just a... I don't think it is. It's just a 20 movies collection. Anyway, blah, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. Their channel's great. Their video was really fun to watch. It was like an hour or something and a half long. I slogged through most of it. I don't think I finished it yet. I'm going to finish it right now. I just want to do this before because I had some time after work today. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.